Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, Dank Wood. Dank Wood is a 12.2% bourbon barrel-aged red IPA from Founders Brewing Company in Grand Rapids, Michigan. If you've watched either my KBS 2018 or Backwoods Bastard 2018 reviews, which I'll leave linked in the description below this video, and probably somewhere in the corner at some point during this video, Dankwood is a third release in Founders Barrel Age series for 2018. What that means is that we're halfway through the release schedule for the year, so I'm going to take that as one of two things. Either we're going to be light on the second half of the year, or there's going to be a surprise 7th release that Founders hasn't mentioned yet. Regardless, this is the third release, officially scheduled for May, but available in April, and it's Dank Wood. Dank Wood is a barrel-aged version of last year's reDANKulous, which is a red IPA. I'm going to guess that Dank Wood will kind of fit into that barrel-aged IPA space that Doom occupied last year. I didn't get a chance to try reDANKulous because there's only so much time in a year and so much time to review these beers, but being a multi-IPA kind of guy, red IPAs are really right in my wheelhouse. So I'm looking forward to checking out how this one measures up to other IPAs, to barrel-aged IPAs, and, kind of maybe think about how it sizes up against Doom. So let's take a look at the label here real quick, and then we'll get into the beer. This one is Dankwood, obviously. It has a really cool, it's a really nice matte label, like all the barrel-aged releases are so far. It has a barrel-aged series, gold embossed label. Around the entire label is this nice gold embossing. On the front it says Dank Wood, Imperial, Red, India Pale Ale, aged in bourbon barrels, and it's really reminiscent of this wall behind me. And it says on the back here, Founders 2018 barrel-aged release. It says, what do you get when a big, bold Imperial Red IPA meets an oak bourbon barrel? A palate stunner that'll send your senses spinning, or as we like to call it, Dankwood. Rich caramel notes emerge from the depths of the IPA, highlighting strong malt character, while the bourbon barrel aging develops the complexity. A dank, sticky, and slightly sweet sipper, Dankwood is a perfect alchemy of wood and hops. This particular bottle was bottled on April 17th, 2018, which at the time of this recording was 10 days ago, and it's 12.2% alcohol by volume, but you know that because I've already said it. So let's go ahead and crack this beer open. It has, again, the barrel-aged cap, gold cap, the typical cap that Founders has been putting on their barrel-aged series. We're going to crack this open, like I said already. So, crack that. And again, on the inside is also... Oh no, there's also barrel aged here. I don't know why that's spilling over. I'm going to give this a little smell. Maybe it got a little shaken when I took it out of my refrigerator down here. But yeah, it actually just kind of smells hoppy. It doesn't really have any other bourbon scent. And give me a second, I'm going to clean this up. This has actually never happened before. I'm going to clean this up. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I cleaned up a little bit. Again, that's never happened before, and I wonder if it just kind of got shaken up when I got out of the fridge, which I just did about 5 minutes ago, so it should have had time to settle, but let's get a better smell out of this. So I am picking up on the bourbon now, actually, that I've gotten a chance to get a better smell out of it. It mixes with that hoppiness, and it actually kind of smells like coconutty, which I'm finding kind of odd. But it makes sense. Bourbon barrel hoppiness, hops and piney kind of scents, that makes sense, I guess. Bourbon, vanilla. I guess I'm getting vanilla out of it, not so much coconut, but more vanilla. And I'm going to grab a snifter here and let's pour this beer. So it's nice and dark. It's not super dark and black like this, obviously, a stout would be, but it's really actually pretty dark. Let's get that little last drip. It's actually pretty dark for an IPA, and but it's a red IPA, so that makes sense. So yeah, it's kind of got a nice kind of yellowish kind of color around the bottom as it concentrates more. It's a really caramel, dark brownish red color, more on the red side than the brown side. Let's give it a better scent here out of this nice glass now. Yeah, I'm picking up like a malty kind of caramel character now. I'm getting the vanilla still, kind of that IPA kind of hoppiness still. But now it's more mixed with some malty kind of characteristics. And so I'm going to give it a taste now. Cheers. All right, one more taste. So it's actually really complex. There is a distinct malt, caramel kind of malt flavor in there. There's also a piney hoppiness that kind of hits on the back end, but it's really the hoppiness, the piney hoppiness mixes with the caramel maltiness really closely, and then there is a tiny bit of a boozy kind of burn to it. And you pick up on the bourbon, obviously, at the very tail end. It kind of sits more in the aftertaste. If I kind of swish that around my mouth more, that the bourbon barrelness, the bourbon oakiness of it actually kind of overpowers that really kind of delicate balance between the hoppiness and the maltiness. If I take a quick drink, I get a lot less of the bourbon taste, and I get a little bit more of the piney bitterness, the hoppiness in the back end. There's almost like this really faint citrus hoppiness as well, hoppy bitterness. And if I take it really quick, it kind of just fades in really, really quickly, smoothly, but I get more of the bourbon that way. Like I said, when I swish it around, I get a lot of bourbon. If I take just a really quick swig, I get a lot of the bourbon too. If I take a nice kind of a little bit more analytical, slower pull on it, that's when I start to pick up a little bit more of that maltiness, a little bit more of that piney hoppiness, a tiny hair of citrus hoppiness in the tail end, and big bourbon. You almost get bourbon everywhere. Obviously, it's bourbon barrel aged, but you get a lot more when you swish it around and when you take a quick drink. When you take that slower drink, it kind of has a little bit more time to kind of, the flavors have a little bit more time to develop in your mouth. I'm going to kind of hold it here and warm it and see if perhaps it opens up a little bit more as it warms. And letting the beer warm up, get a little bit closer to room temperature, usually can bring out a little bit more flavor. I'm trying not to drink this one so cold now because I know I'm going to get probably more of the bourbon is going to kind of stand out than anything else because there's just been so much bourbon flavor to it. When you drink it really cold, obviously you're going to get the really bold flavors are going to come through and you might miss some of the delicate flavors. But this one I think is going to be more bourbon as it warms. Yeah, so again, I do actually get, as it's warming up a little bit, I'm getting more of a malty characteristic mixed with the bourbon. Yeah, at this point, the maltiness and the bourbon really kind of hit at the same time. So the maltiness comes through as more of kind of like a woody kind of cedary kind of maltiness, and the bourbon just kind of hits on the tail end more on the as you swallow, and it doesn't seem so boozy, so warm. I think just kind of following this formula, I think I should probably go out and try and find reDANKulous. I think I'm going to enjoy that one a lot because I do enjoy the malt profile that's in this. I'm just not really digging how the maltiness mixes with the bourbon. I think with Doom, it was you got more of the hoppiness out of it, more of the kind of bitter pininess. And obviously the bourbon, but this one, because it's a red IPA, I would have liked to have gotten more of the maltiness. Like I said, as it warms up, I am getting more of that maltiness out of it. but because there's so much of that bourbon taste, it kind of stifles what kind of the little bit of maltiness and the malty pleasure that I'm getting out of this one. So Dankwood, it's good. I don't think it's the best so far this year. I mean, I think the best so far this year would go to KBS. I think that Backwoods Bastard of 2018 falls behind 2017's version. I know other people feel differently, but that's my opinion on it. I thought that 2017's was a lot more smooth. This is Backwoods Bastard, of course, that I'm talking about. And like I said, I didn't get a chance to try reDANKulous, so I would like to get reDANKulous and kind of maybe do a side-by-side of that and this to see what I think of the two next to each other. I think I'm really going to like reDANKulous if it kind of just subtracts that bourbon barrel aging, because like I said, I think in this, the bourbon kind of overpowers what's really a delicate balance between the hoppy bitterness, the piney bitterness, that cedary kind of woodsy maltiness, and then the bourbon just almost overpowers it. I feel like if you kind of take that bourbon out of it, I think I would enjoy it just a little bit more. All right, friends, that is Dankwood from Founders. This should be on shelves either right now or very soon at your favorite local bottle shop. And just a heads up, I bought 2 4-packs from 2 different places, and I paid between $16 and $18 per 4-pack, which is just above Founders' suggested price of $14.99. I mean, I'd say if you're paying anything over $18, you're probably getting the shaft. Unless it's a local place that you really feel like supporting, I would look for a better price than that. I think between 16 and 18 is probably pretty fair. Now, as far as I know, the remaining 3 barrel-aged releases are still a closely guarded secret, but if you have any inside information on those, or if you've gotten a chance to try out Dankwood, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below this video. And while you're down there, if you like the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, or even share this video with your friends. You can also find links to my social media, some merch I have available, and a link to my blog at drafttherapy.com. So until next time, I am Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by, and remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries wherever they are, and most importantly, don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching. Cheers.